Hot Rod Land, Phil coming to you once again from Carcraft Classics. Today we're spotlighting this gorgeous 86 K5 Blazer. But before we get to that truck and all the details I have to share, I just want to, for anybody maybe watching one of my videos for the first time, this is Carcraft Classics. We're located at 321 Canton Road, Cumming, Georgia 30040. We are about a half hour north of Atlanta and about 40 minutes from the airport. Number for the shop is 470-239-4977. My name is Phil. My cell number is 770-317-1415. Feel free to call or text anytime. Email for the shop is carcraftclassics@gmail.com. And please be sure to visit us on the web at carcraftclassics.com. And if you go to the inventory page, within about 24 hours, I'll have 60 plus pictures of this vehicle, inside, outside, undercarriage. But I always like to do this video because a lot of my customers aren't able to get to the shop and give it a real good look over. So try to put the detailed video together with an extensive description and, like I said, 60 plus pics of the truck, so that those customers that can't make it can really get a good look and figure out what they're buying here. Now, if you are into the classic trucks like this one, or classic cars, or we also sell neon signs and wheel and tire packages for the old vehicles, please, if you're into that kind of stuff, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps with exposure for small businesses like mine. All right, that's enough with the commercial here. But let's get to talking about this beautiful vehicle. This, again, is a 1986 K5 Blazer. Now, what does the K5 mean? K5 means it's a four-wheel drive. Some of these Blazers did come in two-wheel drive. I did a little research on Blazers. I'm no expert, but I'm in love with this truck, so I wanted to learn a little about them, and I found out that they were originally introduced by General Motors back in 1969. And at that time, the tops were convertible. They were removable, I should say, but the top covered the entire truck, the back seat and the front seat. I think it was in 1975 they went to a half cab design because they must have had trouble with leaks and things like that. So in 75, 76, the tops were still removable, but they began, as you can see, just behind the passenger and driver door. So people sitting up front didn't have to worry about any kind of leaks or any kind of debris, etc. But having a removable top is just so awesome. I mean, I want you to think about in 1969, here in this country, guys are getting back from the war and they're looking for fun vehicles. Just imagine a guy or gal stumbling upon this thing with a couple kids and a wife, and you can use it as a grocery getter, but most importantly, you can use it as an adventure vehicle for the weekends. Pop that baby into four-wheel drive and take it up in the woods with your family. I mean, it's an American icon, the Blazer, and it's still around, the Blazer. I mean, Chevy just rolled one out, I think a new design last year. I mean, it looks nothing like this, but the Blazer nameplate is still around today after starting back in 1969. So what's that, 55 years? Something like that. It's an unbelievable run for any design in a vehicle, but no surprise with this one just being so cool. Now, this particular truck came to us locally. A gentleman owned it in Beaufort, a couple towns over, which is quite a treat for me because most vehicles are not local, and it's quite a hike for me to go and get them. But this one fell into my lap and I couldn't be happier. Greg and Carol have had this vehicle for, I think they said 5 years, and it's been a Southern truck since, I believe, 2004. So I haven't seen any rust, although I haven't crawled around underneath, and I won't be doing that with the video. But on the website, click on the inventory page and scroll down and click on the picture of this truck, and it should open to another page which is going to show you still shots of the exterior, the interior, and again the undercarriage But I believe it to be a rust-free truck. There's certainly no rust in the body. I've been around it. We detailed it yesterday. It's really in great shape, and that's usually what you get from a Southern vehicle. This thing is so sweet. But anyway, so it came to us locally, and it is an 86 model. And I tell you, the smartest thing that General Motors ever did with the Blazers, whether they were two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, is they kept the front end and the back end similar to the pickup truck. So if you had a K10 pickup truck, you had the same front end, if it was the same year, and rear end as the Blazer. So it was a recognizable design. The trucks were already popular when the Blazers got popular. So it was, you know, again, a recognizable design. Everybody was familiar with the trucks. And now here comes a Blazer with a removable roof. Just great job by General Motors. All right, so this truck has been restored. I mean, it wasn't a frame-off restoration, but you can see as it just passed, there's a new gas tank underneath. They installed, I have paperwork too for it, they installed a brand new 350 V8 in this truck back in, I think, 22. I'll check the paperwork here in just a moment. And Greg, the previous owner of the truck, mentioned that it's only got 500 miles on it since the engine was installed, so it's barely broken in. It's been to the shop that installed the engine for a checkup, and I have paperwork for that as well. They changed all the fluids, they updated the brakes. So this thing's got new brakes on it, it's got a new engine, new fuel tank. It is completely turnkey, ready to roll. Let's take a little closer look. So it's really, I would call it a partial restoration. They did install new carpet. You see there's where the old and the new came together. You can see it's a little bit of a shade different. They put new seat covers. I told you about the new engine. They also installed a new dash pad. And back here you can see there's a new WeatherTech mat covering up that new carpet. It's in great shape. Paint is excellent. It looks like during the restoration they had the truck painted. Greg said the paint work was done before he got the truck. Let's see if I can close that a little better. There you go, old man. Got it. The top was also painted in that crisp white. You can see all new hardware to remove the top, which I'm not going to do today because I'm here alone at the shop. It takes at least 2 people to get that thing off. But it's nice to know you have all new hardware. Top is in excellent shape. Sliding glass in the top does work. My detailer let me know about how difficult it was to clean that glass, but it does work. The back glass is a power back glass. It does work. I just have it down so that we could drop the tailgate, so that's the way you do it. And it is the Silverado edition, as you can see here. These tires, I've got paperwork for them. They were purchased in 2019. But again, the truck's got very few miles since the restoration was complete. So those tires have plenty of tread on them. And size-wise, because I know somebody will ask, it's 31 by 10.5. And they're 15s. So it's a LT tire. It's got the original rally wheels that were on it from the factory. The body is straight. It appears to be Victory Red, which was a common red color for General Motors in the 80s, even in the 70s. And one of the things we did, small things we did to the exterior, is we put these new badges on both sides. It's got brand new K5 Blazer badges left and right. Glass is good. Power windows work. Power locks work. We also installed these new moldings in the door panels here. We took off, I always do, even with my pickups, I took off those silly pull handles and the plastic caps, and they went with just a flush new aluminum molding. We'll get into the interior here in a little bit. She's gorgeous. 1986 Chevy Blazer. All right, now I mentioned to you a moment ago, it's got a new Vortex style center bolt valve cover V8. It is a 350 cubic inch. And another nice treat is underneath there, you've got Phi-Tech fuel injection. So a lot of guys that like these square body style, either pickup trucks or Blazers, they like to go after the 87s because that was the year that GM introduced the fuel injection. But this truck, like I said, it has a V8 in it, but the carburetor's been removed and now it has fuel injection. So no more feathering the throttle during cold starts, no more problems when you change elevation with the carburetor having to be adjusted. Better gas mileage this way. Just the engine runs so much more efficiently with the fuel injection. I don't mind a carburetor myself, but fuel injection's on there, I'll take it. So under the hood you can see it does have air conditioning. It's got power disc brakes up front, I believe drums in the rear. Look at the frame rails and those headers. It is not a rust bucket truck. Maybe some surface rust underneath, and again we'll take still shots of that and show it to you on the website. Inner fenders are good, firewall's good, nice and clean. One of the other little minor things that was done, you got the new reservoir there. Those always crack. They get brittle over time. Got a nice Duralast gold battery in it. One of the other minor things that we did since it's been here at the shop, it really didn't need much, but we put that underhood mat, that insulated mat that protects the paint on your hood from failing due to heat from the engine. So we got that new one in there. You can see the core support is in great shape as well. Doesn't appear like this truck's ever been in an accident. So again, fuel injected V8, power brakes, power steering, air conditioning, got all the creature comfort you need. That unmistakable square body front end, absolutely love it. And I don't think it had a red badge from the factory, but it sure does look cool. It matches very nicely with the Victory Red exterior paint. She is pretty. I love this truck. It's like my detailer missed a spot. Anyway. Pin straight going down the side. Paint again was done just before my guy got it, so it's probably somewhere in the 5 to 7 year range as far as how old it is. And it looks great. Windshield's great. All the glass is good. And again, she's pinned straight around looking down the side. Four-wheel drive is in working order. I just love the look of these trucks, and the red and white is killer. Just the best combination, I think. Open Country Toyo AT tires. Like I said, I've got the receipt over there. Key buzzer works. Okay. Door panels are in great shape. There is a little blemish right there. Looks like something happened. I don't know if they dyed it and it ran or something, but they are, as far as physically, they are in great condition. Got that one little blemish there, and as I mentioned before, that little trim molding piece there, we just replaced that. No rust in the doors down at the bottom. Sometimes they can do. No rust in the rockers. No cab corners to worry about on this bad boy, like we do on the pickup trucks. But as I mentioned, new carpet, new seat covers. It's got the buckets with the middle console. It's the killer look and feel when you're sitting in them. New dash pad. That one looks like it might have come from Cheyenne Truck Parts. So we've bought those before, and this is a replacement. This is not a cap. This is an actual new dash pad. Mileage shows just under 85,000. Gauges are all in working order. As I mentioned to you before, the chassis and the truck itself may have 85,000 miles, but the engine's only got about 500. There's that new carpet. Get this little piece we missed. There's your shifter for the four-wheel drive. Headliner's in great shape as well. Visors are there. Got the white headliner. I'm going to come across to the other side. AC does blow cold. Oh, and one other thing I almost forgot. Got that factory stereo. I'm sorry, the factory steering wheel. And as far as the stereo goes, it's got a retro sound stereo. Let's see here. So if you're not familiar with retro sound, these are stereos made to fit that two-knob kind of application from back in the day. But they have new functionality. So as far as Bluetooth and all that kind of connected functionality, Wi-Fi this, Bluetooth that, I don't know. It's got it all. But they are made to look old with the new functionality. I'm going to go over to the other side to show you the back seat so that we don't have the sun glare. And if you know anything about these Blazers, only the passenger side seat moves up. So to put people in the back, they've got to come back here. Here's another WeatherTech mat to protect your carpets. Seat cover was replaced back here as well. Sorry about the shadows. We'll get you some still shots again of the interior, exterior, and the undercarriage inside the shop so that you don't have all these shadows. But take my word for it, brand new seat cover. That one looks like it hadn't even been sat in yet. Matching red. This thing is just screaming, take me up in the woods for the weekend. So cool. So cool. Again, bucket seats and middle console. That's what everybody wanted back in the day. That was kind of the upgrade. Power windows, power locks. So cool. So there she is in all her glory. 1986 Chevy K5 Blazer. Now that V8, I forgot to mention about the transmission. This particular truck has a 700R 4-speed overdrive transmission. So if you do get this thing up on the highway and you're cruising at highway speeds, you won't feel like you need another gear. It's got that overdrive gear. The RPMs are going to drop down at 60, 70 miles an hour and she'll cruise beautifully on the highway. But she's also good for around town. And you can certainly lock out that overdrive by putting it in drive versus overdrive, cruising around town. Don't want it to lug. But it's nice to have that overdrive transmission, again, for highway cruising. She's beautiful. All right, now, it comes with a few things. Actually, when it came to us, it had the push bumper on the front with fog lights in it. I have that. We removed it just because I wanted you guys and gals out there to be able to see the truck for what it is and not with all the accessories on it. It also had those tubular style side steps, and we have all that stuff right over here. We've got the full-size spare. Looks like that tire's got some miles on it, but I'm sure it'll be fine for a spare tire. And then here is the bracket that holds the tire on the rear end on the back. I'm not sure why that was removed, but it has been removed. And let's see. There's those tubular style side steps that we removed. Here is a cover for the truck that from United Covers, and that hasn't even been opened yet. Vacuum sealed. Here's that push bumper with your fog lights on it. You want to put that back on, we can do that for you. if you like that style. Again, I just removed it so you could really get a good look at the truck without those accessories. Here's your Retro Sound Classic Stereo manual, and here's the paperwork from the engine swap. So I have it. It was done here in Georgia at a shop, D&B Automotive in Sugar Hill, Georgia. So we've got paperwork for that, and I've got paperwork for the engine swap, and then when he brought it back to just be checked over when they did the brakes, I've got paperwork for that. And lastly, not too long ago in September, the gentleman that owned it, Greg, brought it in for just a fluid change, looks like oil change, trans filter kit, etc. Also, we have touch-up paint in Victory Red, and in here we have a couple other various receipts that the truck is, you know, the owners have accrued over the years. So that will come, all that stuff will come with the truck. As I mentioned, we can put those accessories back on if you like them, or you can just have them to put in your garage. Put them on when you want to. 1986 Chevy K5 four-wheel drive Blazer. 350 V8 with 500 miles, a fuel-injected V8. Power steering, power disc brakes, air conditioning. 4-speed overdrive transmission. Fairly new tires with plenty of tread left. Oh, looks like I locked the door. What else can I tell you about this bad boy? I think that's it. It runs and drives great. When they brought it to me, they drove it over here. And yeah, it runs and drives excellent. Top again is removable, and it's got all new hardware. I mean, it looks just like a square body, and I'm sure when you pop that cap off, it's going to resemble a square body even more. Bumpers are in great shape. Front one is in just as good a nice condition as this one. Not sure if they're original or if they've been replaced. As you can see, it also has a tow hitch, so you can tow your trusty trailer with whatever you have on the trailer there. You can hook it right up. Again, she's showing 85,000 or just under 85,000 miles. Beautiful factory steering wheel. Replace the dash pad, as I mentioned. Let's fire this baby up. So now when I have fuel injection, I don't have to pump the pedal. She starts like a dream. Let's see, put that window up. There we go. Bringing down the idle. Love it. Don't have to pat the pedal. No manual choke. Everything's handled by the ECM. Really nice to have that fuel injection. No funky noises coming out of the engine bay. We made sure of that. Of course, the engine being new, wouldn't expect that would happen. It's got new plugs, it's got new fluids, it's got everything. This thing is gorgeous. So who's up for some fun? I mean, don't get me wrong, muscle cars are cool, but this thing is a different level. So there you go, our 1986 Chevy K5 Blazer. I did my research. I see these things bringing mega bucks. $40,000, $50,000. They LS swap them, clean them up, and they're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars for these things. It's crazy. Of course, they're not making them anymore, and they had a huge following when they were introduced, and certainly in the 80s, so I understand there's high demand for them, but the numbers are getting crazy. Our asking price for this truck is $29,500. Just under 30. $29,500. We can help with financing, although we don't do it in-house. We work with collector car financing, and collector car lending is the company. And if you're interested in financing for this vehicle or any one of our trucks in inventory or cars, just give me a holler, and I'll give you a link. You can apply online, and you'll know if you're approved in minutes. You can apply right online, and they typically require 20% down. I require 10% down to hold the vehicle, but they typically, when they lend money, require 20% down. So yeah, let me know if you need help with financing. We also work with local shippers. We can ship this vehicle to you anywhere in the lower 48 states and put it right in your driveway. It's not cheap today, but what is? But we can definitely ship it to you if you can't make it to the shop. And any kind of customization. I don't know if you wanted new wheels and tires or whatever you want it done. We can do light customization as well, so just let me know. Again, the asking price is $29,500. Please don't hesitate to give me a call or shoot me a text if you've got questions, or you'd like to schedule a test drive or just a time to come by and take a peek at it. Let me know. One last bit of information: it does have a clean Georgia title, so there's no problems with that. Again, my name is Phil. I'm the owner here. My number is 770-317-1415. Again, that's 770-317-1415. And just give me a holler or shoot me an email at carcraftclassics@gmail.com. And I'll be glad to answer any of your questions. Thank you so very much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Look at that new chin spoiler down there. I forgot to mention that, but that's nice as well. But again, I really appreciate you watching the video. Thank you for taking the time out. Be safe out there, and God bless America.